Welcome. In this video, we're going to talk about why does AI matter? Let's start with a bit of history. So far, there have been two major eras in the history of computing. The first was the era of the PC from the mid-70s to the mid-90s. This was the heyday of IBM and then of Microsoft as they started to take over the world. This was the beginning of the desktop, with computers helping us calculate, write, and design. The second major phase started in the mid-90s with the emergence of the commercial internet. With this, all these machines were connected and could communicate. This revolutionary change that has taken place over the last 20 years arguably caught many companies by surprise at the time. Today, we're at the beginning of the next major phase. Not only are these machines ubiquitously connected and communicating through the internet, they will soon all be able to think and learn on their own. This is a profound change, an era where every device will be able to make a decision on its own. We're just at the beginning of this change, a change where we are essentially adding a lot more brains to the planet. There are many similarities to where we are now with artificial intelligence and where we were with the internet in the mid-90s. Back then, Netscape had just arrived. We had email and there were a lot of people nerding out on the technical details, but the impact of the internet was vastly underestimated by almost everyone. Right now, it's like this in AI. There's a lot more buzz, a lot of popular journalism, and a lot of technical progress, but it's only the leading companies who are investing and who are truly able to understand the power of AI. But AI is already all around us. One way we like to look at it is about the time we spend with AI. To understand that, we look at the time we spend with media. This data from Nielsen shows that over the past 4 years, Americans' consumption of media and entertainment has increased by more than 10%. That's an increase of 1 hour per day, from 9.5 hours to 10.5 hours per day. What's striking is when you dig into the data. Time with smart media, a proxy for AI, is up 80% to over 4 hours per day. The biggest driver of this change is time with mobile, which is up more than 2.5 times. The only category of smart media that's down is internet over a computer, which is down 50% in the last year alone. Clearly, people have shifted their time to the easy accessibility and data-rich AI-based applications on mobile devices. But what is this extra hour per day worth? Let's assume that extra hour per day is spent on Facebook. If that was true, that increase of an hour per day would more than double Facebook's revenue in the United States alone. Perhaps that's why every major tech company has become an AI company. These are the 5 big powerhouses of AI. These companies all have their own approach to the market and to AI. Apple focuses on delivering experiences, and they use AI with a very strong focus on privacy to make that experience as personal as possible. Google's focus is on delivering information to everyone around the world, and they use their AI to analyze the vast richness of internet data to be able to provide the actual data that each individual wants. Microsoft's focus is helping people be more productive at work and at home, and they're applying AI across a host of products to help you anticipate what you need before you know you need it. Amazon's focus is selling and delivering things to you, and they use AI throughout their business, from recommending products to solving for the most effective logistics to getting that product to you. Finally, Facebook's focus is on making connections to people and information, and they use their AI in ways to keep you connected and addicted so that you stay on their platform as long as possible. One of the reasons AI is being taken so seriously by the big tech companies is because it's leading to what we call the next prompt war. In the PC era, the prompt war was won by the C prompt. In the days of MS-DOS, Microsoft's OS, the C prompt was how information on a computer was accessed. Even within a local area network, the C prompt was the access point, and information was limited to what was accessible in this narrow domain. Microsoft won the PC era because they owned the C prompt, but Microsoft lost the next war because they missed the next big prompt, the internet search window. Google owns this internet search window, of course, and they've won in a much bigger fashion. The search prompt war wasn't just about accessing what information was on your computer. It was about accessing all information across the world. The question now is, who will win the AI prompt war? And therefore, who will be the gatekeeper to the best that AI has to offer? But the platforms aren't limiting their AI efforts to just their core markets. Each company has expanded dramatically over the past few years into seemingly any market that interests them, and their AI strengths are one of the key reasons they're winning at almost anything they try. Corporate strategists have always asked, where do we compete? The big platforms are changing that question because they're competing everywhere, which makes it impossible for everyone else to draw clean industry boundaries for competitive positioning. The Big Five, powered by AI and vast consumer data, can stretch across industries, essentially blurring them all and making everyone have to think of themselves across industry boundaries as well. Every other company should take heed of these threats and start figuring out their AI strategy as soon as possible. This isn't a new technical capability that you can afford to just watch. This is a capability you need to embrace and understand. There are two big changes that this has on corporate strategy. The first is with resources, which we've always thought of as human resources. We think now, though, that you have to think of not just your human employees, but your machine employees. We have to change the traditional question of what resources and capabilities do we use to think about both humans and machines. These machines and humans will not be distinct, though. They operate together as a combined human-machine system. So the key question is, how do you plan for this new human-machine operating system? The second major change is thinking about the revision of how you think about corporate value. Interactions between humans and learning machines create data that can be used for understanding competitive dynamics in entirely different ways. Physical and offline worlds are merging with online worlds. Simulations are used in real time. Ways to use technology that can't even be imagined yet and require real-world, tangible experimentation and use so that knowledge about what's possible can be created. How to know where to invest and innovate isn't possible to plan for. How the machine experience unlocks new human experiences. A central or top-down approach to developing strategy won't capture the best use cases and breakthroughs in human-machine capability. It has to start at the front lines, with every employee understanding the way that he or she may interact with a machine, to look for new opportunities for machines to augment their value in the business. We hope you've enjoyed this quick intro to why does AI matter. Please check out sonderscheme.com or reach out to hello@sonderscheme.com via email to talk more and learn more. Thanks.